So there's really no easy route to get to this mine. It's just a matter of a brush bash and climb. So we're just gonna make our way a little bit in, hopefully to find the open woods, and just continue our way up, gaining elevation as we go. We have a ways to go still before we get there. So as you can see, we're kind of getting into a brushy area, so we're gonna have to bash our way through this. So we'll see you a little further up. We were coming straight up the hillside, and it looks like we may have intersected a switchback of the old miners trail. Right here you can kind of make out a flat spot that looks like it goes over here and disappears where that tree fell down, and then it possibly switchbacks again above us. But it's not really something we're going to follow. We're just going to continue straight up the hillside through the brush and the forest, and hopefully we're about a quarter away, maybe a little over a quarter away. So we'll see you further up. So just to give you an idea, it's pretty brushy of an area. It's also moderately steep. I mean, it gets your heart pumping. So we're going to scramble on top of these boulders and try to get back into the open woods here. Watch her step off this thing. All right, so we have a little bit of open woods ahead of us, which is a little easier. Moderate brush, so we're gonna continue to push up. So we made our way across the hillside, and coming into view now is the waste dump, which is right in front of us. Starts up here and goes down. And then over here to the right, a little out of view, is the portal entrance. So we're just gonna scramble down this gully. And then we'll come back up the other side here. And right over there is the portal. So we were at the portal of the mine. As far as this mine's history, it dates, as far as the claims being staked, to the 1890s. This mine has records in the early 1900s, 1900 to be exact, in terms of production. It probably, like most mines in this area, operated into the teens, possibly the 20s and 30s, and then most likely closed either in the 30s or during the early 40s before the war. So as you can see at the entrance here, we have an ore cart, which is always really cool to see. We have some drill steel and part of the, I believe, jack leg there for the drill. So we'll take a closer look at what we have over here as far as some of these artifacts outside the portal. And it looks like we have some parts of a jack leg. And also it looks like there's a fan blade assembly right here. Not sure if that would have been big enough for the ventilation or would have had maybe blacksmith use. And some other piping. I'm not seeing a whole lot else that I'm identifying or recognizing. Looks like more the other half here of the fan. I'll try to make it a little more viewable here. See the other half. And then as we go inside, you'll see right here off to the left, there is a bellow, a wooden bellow, which is super cool. And then over here, we have a pneumatic drill. And we'll take a look at it and see if we can tell what kind it was here. Sometimes we can find the markings on them easier. I believe this was a Rand drill, it looks like. It's kind of hard to read. There's the drill. And then over here is the actual jack leg that the drill would have been mounted to, and it would have stood vertically up and down. And you can see at the bottom here where it has like those teeth, and one end would have been on the ceiling of the mine and the other would have been on the floor, and then they would have turned it to unscrew it to the right height and then mounted the drill to the barrel here. And then you can see there's some air ventilation pipe. And right here we have an air receiver tank. So this mine is about 700 feet roughly, and the primary ore being sought here was gold, silver, and copper. Looks like we have some single jack steel sitting back in here. And of course all this ventilation pipe would have been strapped to the side of the tunnel here. Some of it's just fallen down. You can see the metal ties that would have held it. And then we have some air pipe that was stacked up here, whether it was done later or during the era, I don't know. It's a little wet towards the first go of it here. But we're pretty used to wet mines, so don't let it really bother me anymore. up here, you can see they put these kind of wooden pegs into the wall to mount the ventilation pipe to. Just drilled them and pounded them in. So this is another site that we're not saying a whole lot about. As you can see from the artifacts, these things will get messed with, and we're about protecting these artifacts and not being too public and disclosing the location. And I know some people really don't like that, but if you really want to find these places and spend some time researching them, I guarantee you can. We didn't have a whole lot of information when we first started doing this. We didn't know where stuff was either, so we just spent time networking with people, looking up historical data, and then just going out into the field and doing a bunch of trial and error, and we were, within a short time, very successful. So if we can do it, I'm sure you can get out there and do your homework, and you can find them too. So as we get further in, you can hear the source of this water that is coming out of the mine. So right over here, you can see the water making its way in from above. And then there's a little bit over here as well. And we have a little bit coming off the ceiling, so if it was a hot day, which it's not cold out, but it's not screaming hot. Nice little shower here, cool you off. So right ahead of us, outside of I think this one area, there's really no shoring in this mine. It was driven into pretty stable material. You don't see a lot of big boulders and debris in the tunnel. There's a few things, but not very many. Kind of see the shoring there. So we're coming up on the back of the mine now. And you can also see here the air pipe that ran all the way to the back for the pneumatic drill and whatnot. So what I see in the back, and I suspect maybe, is a card. I think maybe I know. Well, looks like there's some new ones in here I haven't seen before, but there's, of course, Northwest Underground, who we know really well and we do a lot of stuff with. Not sure who left that one here, if that was Drew or not. So I'm just kind of looking around here to see if I'm missing anything in terms of any carbide writing on the walls. I don't think there is. But so down here you can see the tracks are still in here. And again, there's this one area that's short. And I think this boulder here is about the only one you'll see in here. Again, it's a pretty stable mine. The material here has been driven into good, stable hard rock. Take a look in there, and that's the ventilation pipe. Sometimes these ventilation pipes, and I don't know if this one, I can look on our way out, they do have markings from the company, and it kind of gives you an idea of the era. I don't know if these have it on it. I'll kind of watch as we go though. So we're going to continue to make our way back towards the portal entrance. And there's some stuff to show you on the outside of this mine. In addition to, there's another adit, a little upper adit that we'll go check out. We're kind of back by where all that water is coming in through the walls and ceiling. See the hanger here, the pipe would have sat in, which is one of the less impressive hangers I've seen. This one's kind of practical but not very ornate. Some of them get kind of cool. They're hand forged. Again, take a look at here, where that water's starting to make its way into back here. And we've just got a stream kind of flowing out. Again, this is actually later in the season, so there's not nearly as much water as I've seen in the past. Here you can see how the ceiling goes up a bit and then forwards back here, where they open that up a little bit more than the rest of the tunnel. It's a little deeper and wet through here. Don't see any markings on the air pipe. Here you can see where the air pipe would have connected to the receiver, and then down in here to the other pipe. think there's markings on this either. I don't remember there being markings. And then again, some of the really cool artifacts here. Looking at the drill again. The jack leg. Of course, the bellow. These bellows are really rare. There used to be more of them out in this area at other mines, and they've disappeared in time. And then, of course, the ore cart. Let's see its door there. It's a little bit open. Where the ore would have dumped out of. It's definitely starting to rot away in the Pacific Northwest weather. And then we'll come out here and we'll walk straight across from the portal. And I'm not exactly sure where the mining camp was. They probably had some structures and some things right near the portal. But over here, we have some drill steel. We have all this drill steel that's been piled up over the years. And a shovel down here. Still has part of its wood handle. So we're gonna move this back where we found it, which was kind of tucked down into this log to help protect it a little bit more. And it looks like some stuff related to blacksmithing. A railroad rail, which generally got used in some sort of blacksmith application. And then the rail just extends from the mine to the edge of the waste dump. And right over the edge here is the waste dump for about a 700 foot adit. So we're going to head up and see if we can find this upper. So we're going to go up the side of the mountain here, and we shall see you when we get to the top. We scrambled our way up from below at the other portal, and now we are above it. So I'm going to make my way around here, and we should have this upper portal right here in front of us. There it is. Head on inside. I don't believe this tunnel's more than 100, maybe 200 feet max, if I remember correctly. It dates to the same era as the one below. It's probably discovery, 1890s. Development work, 1900 to 1920s probably. We are at the back. Head back to the portal entrance. And the $1 million view of the portal entrance. Really beautiful day and amazing views. And a look from the entrance here. All right, so we're going to make our way back down to the lower, and we will see you back down there. Okay, we're going to make our way back down, kind of show you what we can of going back down. It requires two hands at times, so it's a little bit of a pain in the neck to film going down. All right. So we just have to follow this rock face down for a while. Occasionally you get a rock decides to kick free, so hopefully no one in front of us. That thing's going all the way down. Go left, stay on the rock face. I believe we've looked around up above before just to see if there was any other test work done up here. I don't recall there specifically being anything. So that concludes our visit to the Emperor Mine. But before we leave, we just want to say thank you for following us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And please do remember to subscribe to our channel. We appreciate your support. And until our next trip, take care of yourselves.